Wasn't on my time in my memory. I'm forgetting, baby, with no more. Baby, I had a dream like this. Got me locked in the headlock. Baby, got me turning in my block. Got me back to it. I can't see back to her. Because if you know that pair, baby, you were mine. If you know the time in my memories, what you see. When doing too much goes wrong. When doing too much goes right. What's up, my pretties, my lovelies? Well, now that I know you're doing pretty, let's get to this pretty on me. Okay, y'all. We have the spiritual world, the religious world, and somehow they intertwine. Let's get into it. I'm here to talk about mine, my opinion on that situation. So I feel like um, spiritual people, they kind of like, no, I'm not gonna be one sided. I'm not gonna be in the church. I'm not gonna listen to the Bible. I'm not gonna listen to that. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do that. But in fact, you know, because first of all, Jesus is supposed to be depicted as a white man, right? But that's not necessarily the case. A lot of truths have been hidden in plain sight and lies in your face. Period. Um. So anyway, at the end of the day, some lies and truths in your face too, right? I'm here to speak on what has recently come up to me about Jesus and how he relates to the spiritual world, the spiritual people, and how he can relate to you. You know, I don't consider myself a Christian. I consider myself a child of God. Um, and that's what it is, because I guess I can be called a sinner. I feel like most of us are sinners, so I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect, but I'm close to perfect and probably closer to God and uh, Jesus than most people. I put it like that, but I don't have to have that on my title. I don't really believe in titles and labels and stuff like that. Um, so anyway, on my spiritual journey recently, it just came to my attention on who Jesus is to certain spiritual people. And despite the fact that him being depicted as white, clearly in the Bible, Jesus was not white. It says he had skin of bronze, hair of wool, coppery skin, or something like that. So, and he was from like Africa or Egypt area, one of them two. So allegedly, people know or have said for years that Jesus possibly could not be white, right? And if you don't know, a lot of the history books, a lot of books were destroyed, not so we couldn't read, it was so we wouldn't know our history and our truth. And some people even say the Bible, everything I'm saying is alleged for interpretive purposes only, has a lot of black people's history in it. Yeah. The people say we was the original Israelites, the original Jews, a lot of stuff, like the original Hebrews, like it's a lot of stuff, right? Um, and the funny part is that they depict this white Jesus, and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it all now because at the end of the day, I'm not a white person, but probably in the past life, I think I was in the past life or something. But at the end of the day, it's just like we all white. Oh, black is just like it's just like a color. It's really not. We a soul, we live in a body. You know the story. But anyway, so I know you were like wanting me to get to the point, but I want to say on my research, I discovered that Jesus supposedly had a life outside of the life that's in the Bible, and that's when he started his spiritual journey. Because if you don't know, in the Bible, Jesus came through a lot of persecution, a lot of trials, a lot of ridicule, and he was supposed to be the most perfect person in the motherfucking world. And also, he had gifts and abilities that a lot of people were not supposedly capable of having, right? So, despite when he rose from the dead or whatever, people are really saying that's like when his life really started, and it's kind of, I think, like his spiritual death, his spiritual journey, and reawakening, whatever. because people, it's been written in books. I don't know how true, or I kind of started thinking it's kind of true. But they said he had actual kids, a whole family that was not talked about in the Bible. Yeah, married, everything. Allegedly, he married a whore. Let me stop. Um, Cause some people saying that somebody that was in the Bible that was supposed to be crying at his feet, or something like that, or was not actually his mother or something like that. Stories are intertwined. I can't even keep up, but it's like somehow like something like that. Actually, think he supposed to have married somebody named Mary. It wasn't actually his mother. It's I can't really keep up. People said had like 3 kids. Like he was getting down. So no, I'm just let me stop. Let me stop. It wasn't like that. But basically, what I'm trying to say is about the story of Jesus that spiritual people need to understand is Jesus is you, or Jesus is like you, because not a lot of people go on their spiritual journeys due to the fact that the trials and tribulations and persecution that they have endured being religious, or just in life in general. And then they get awakened because they are experiencing unexpected supernatural things they can't unexplain, but it's happening and you can't really explain it, and you just deal with it and you want to have a search for more. And that's kind of what Jesus had, because basically he was like a superhero in a world that was full of corruption, and he was trying to save the world as often um people do, child of God or whatever, try to take on the burdens of the world, but just kind of ill equipped, just trying to do it on your own terms. And yeah, you may have uh special, talents and everything that you come across in this life, and some of it you like understand, some of you don't. And it cannot be nothing but God that bestowed this talent and ability on you, but you want to like cultivate it, you want to get deeper into it, so you go on this journey where you get closer to learn about God, who God is. And you know because they say he did some miraculous things like walking on water, and turning water into wine and stuff like that. And if you're a child of God, you do realize you really are not to be with. Now, you may forget, but in life, you're going to remember that you're not to be. Jesus is really not one to be fudged with. I mean, if you walking on water, you turn around the wines, sticks into snakes and all this. Like, you just don't want to be playing with people like that. But a lot of times you forget, because that's unheard of. That's something that don't really be happening for real in real life, according to real people, right? Maybe in the supernatural world, supernatural realm, it's a lot of stuff that going on over there. You know what I'm saying? So basically, the story of Jesus depicts a spiritual person going through a spiritual revelation, a spiritual journey. Um, if it wouldn't have been for the persecution, for the trials, he wouldn't have went on that journey. He probably wouldn't have got married, because what Jesus failed to do, well, I mean, he did. He was trying to save everybody, but in the midst of saving everybody, he forgot to save himself. And that's a lot of what the spiritual journey is about. Save yourself. And in the midst, if people want to be saved, save them. But if they don't want to be saved, don't save them. And that's what he realized. Look, let me have my own family. Let me have my own life. Focus on them. Allegedly, he got wives. He had a wife. So that's the story, in my opinion, of Jesus. And you may be like, well, he had different skin, but yeah, that's just a skin that was portrayed. Because if you don't know, due to you know, allegedly the people in the Bible were in exile, meaning they had to be put in slavery, be tormented, and they had to go through so many trials in order to come back to the teachings, the light, whatever. And despite all the books being torn and burned at the stake and different things, like people are coming to and still know the knowledge that's within and has been sent down from generation to generation to generation. So it's not gone, it's not forgotten, but it lets you know that it dwells in you and not without you. You know, but all this stuff had to be done for you to go back and see your true divinity, your true power, your true testament. And that's why I have a new respect for Jesus. Like, I see him as my brother. You know, when you pray, you can say in Jesus' name, but you also can say in your name, I am here. In your name, I am who I am in the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? It's basically a story about the life of a spiritually awoken person, a gifted person, because a lot of times you see these abilities at an early age, you don't understand them, and you know there's something special and unique about you, but your understanding is not till you go through so much trying to help and heal people that you turn out on the other side like, fuck them people, fuck them kids and all this and that. It's just me against the world, baby. If you nuck it, you buck. So Jesus was a real one. Like, his own friends turned against him. His own family in some cases turned against him. I mean, he didn't have a place to call home in some instances, but he was always good. He was always taken care of. You always been good. You always been taken care of. So I just say the story of Jesus is a story of a lot of people's lives who go on a spiritual journey or a spiritual quest. And despite the animosity that you may have for him at first, you have to realize he's a man of your own heart. That's it, that's all. We have